an API, a real-time API to YouTube, which is preparing to live stream my meeting, my Zoom meeting to YouTube Live. So when I'm doing this, so now it says, did you get any message? Greta, did you get a message?
I got a message that said you were live streaming.
Right. So I'm live streaming. So the question is, what does that mean? And it's Zoom API YouTube. So my question now to everyone, and everybody can look this up, in my classes, I not only allow, but I encourage you during my lectures for you to use your computer to do what? To basically look things up. Where maybe other classes say you can't have a computer, you can't look things up. I'm the opposite. In my class, you can do it. So we have to figure out what API stands for and what it means. So did you find it, Lily?
Not yet. I'm looking it up.
Okay, who found it? Raise your hand. Okay, so what did you find, Greta?
It stands for Application Programming Interface.
Okay, let's just stop with that. It stands for Application Programming Interface. And then what does it say?
It says that it allows different software applications to communicate and exchange data with each other.
So in our case, then, Greta, you're on a roll. Which applications are we using? One is what?
Zoom and
Zoom is an application, a software application. Everybody agree with me? Will, do you understand that? It's a Zoom is an application. And what's the other application, Will?
YouTube.
YouTube. And what do we want to do? Have a connection between the two that they can talk to each other and share data. So is there an issue? And we're in a business class. So the idea is, what is their incentive, Zoom, to create an API that they can share information? One is what? That you're in Zoom. They don't want you to leave Zoom, right? They want, the university pays a subscription for using Zoom. So they don't want people to cut off that subscription. They want to give them more value. So that's the idea. And what's the incentive for YouTube, Colin? What's the incentive for YouTube to have that permission to share data?
I guess to get their message out there.
Basically, for you to get onto YouTube, they sell ads, right? They want numbers. So instead, if you're not going to use it, you'll use another streaming service. That's it. So that's the case. So let me share my screen. And what do you see? Colin, what do you see?
The class.
You see the class. Great. You see the class, and do you see me? I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see me? They're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in the corner there. So what's happening, Colin?
You're live streaming?
I'm live streaming, but it's delayed. It's about 30 seconds of the delay. Why? Because in real time, it has to go from the YouTube, from Zoom to YouTube server. So you see here, everyone's here with their names. That's why I said you need permission, right, Caitlin? That everybody here, you're in the corner, and Lily's here, that everybody's here, and they can see the link. And then there's a URL there. And then later on, you will be able to do this too. I want this to be an assignment, Colin, that you can, from Zoom, you'll learn all the ins and outs of Zoom, and create a YouTube channel. And then you can do it based on maybe your project. You can have even ways in which to get out your message and have people subscribe to you. You understand? It's like, I'm doing this. I want you to eat my dog food, right? As we can say, I want you to be able to do that. All right? Questions? So that's number one. Number two, I go to the classes, right? Is we know about the classes when we do the classes. We did the syllabus last time, and under the syllabus, what is important, let me just review in case there's some people that were new. What's important is that my office hours are remote. It's basically my office hours are after this class. So it's perfect for you. Other students have to come to this, but if you need to see me, I will turn off the recordings and we can talk about anything that you want. If you want to contact me via email, make sure you put in your section that we're K. Course materials, you need to have a laptop and you need to have a camera and you need to have an internet connection. And what else is important, and some people were asking me about it, is everything usually is online. Sometimes we will go to the lab. I'll announce it a week ahead of time. We may go to the School of Business lab to do in-house activities. But I wanted everybody to put in their calendar that March 3rd is the first exam. Even if you have any accommodations or disabilities, you need to take the exam with me in class. And we're in 204 computer lab. I'll give you more instructions, but you need to be there. If you cannot be there on March 3rd and you want to stay in the class, you will get a 0 for the exam if you do not attend that way.
Will it be at the same time as this class?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that a great idea? Well, I give it another time, right? You're reserved here. I'm not going to do that, but I just want to make sure that you know, because some people say, oh, I took this class because I want to be online and I was going on vacation, right, to Colorado on March 3rd, get 2 weeks of spring break or something, right, Finley? So I want to make sure in advance, if you're doing that, that's fine, have fun skiing or whatever, but that's not appropriate. And then the April 21st, we'll have the second exam, and it will be in person. And Finley, what it will be is we'll be doing it on the school's computer. But guess what? Is a possibility to have problems? Of course there is, right, Finley? So what we're going to do is have each of you bring your laptop as a backup. Because guess what? Hey, this computer doesn't work. Do I have control over all of those computers? No. And will some not work? Of course they won't. It's part of the deal. So I've been in this business a while to know you always have to have, and you too always have to have backup and recovery procedures. So this is it. So instead of the final exam, Finley, what we'll do is you'll be working from mid-semester on a final project. And you will then, the last day of class, present it. I'll give you feedback on it, and you'll submit the final exam, the final project at the exam date and time. So that way, I want you to concentrate, have the exam, and then be able to concentrate on the project. Because in my opinion, the project is much more valuable to you, Finley, than the exam. Because you'll learn some skills, right? And you can then use that. You'll have your own URL, you'll have your own website, you'll create chatbots, you'll create podcasts, you'll have skills that you say, hey, what can I do for you, or what can I do for myself? What you'll do at the end, Finley, is after you give you'll do presentation. Guess what? In Zoom, like we do normally, we'll have an online class. And then afterwards, once you kind of do that dress rehearsal with me, you'll do a formal presentation, but you'll do it on your own with your group in Zoom, and you'll record it where? To the cloud, not your computer, because I need to have access and other people can have access. And then you'll submit that to the cloud. Got it? So I just want to have everyone to understand where are we going with all this, because there seems to be so much going on. But this first week, what I want to make sure is that everybody has an understanding, and I use it as, I call it my trailer week. You get to see the movie, Finley. Not all movies are for everyone, right? If this is for you, I'm happy for you to join me. If this isn't for you, that's fine too. Fine. Everybody should find what's of interest, you know, to them. Is that clear, Finley? I answer your question? Okay, so that's,
Yes, thank you.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. Okay, you'll see attendance. Attendance we'll do at the end of the class. We're always going to do that online. No big shakes, but we'll end a bit earlier. I'll answer any questions you have, and then you can stay with me. If you stay with me, I stop all recordings, because in information systems, what we know is there's something in security called the need to know. What does that mean? The need to know. Let me just put this up here. So at this point in security, it's the need to know. So Colin, what does that mean to you in security and information system security? What do you think that means?
Probably that, I don't know, a company needs to know something. I don't really know how
Okay,
else to-
let's take your example, Colin. Do you need to know your grades in my class?
Yeah,
Do I need to know your grades in my class?
yes,
Does Greta need to know your grades in your class, or anyone else in the class?
no,
No. That's the need to know, right? Do they need, in order to do their job, they don't need to know your, it's like you need to know your business, right? But they need to know when you're part of a group, they need to know when they schedule a meeting, they need to know that you're there or not, right? Or they need to know your schedule in order to do it. So that's the key in information systems, is you provide roles and access based on what, Colin? Based on the need to know. Makes sense, right? It's common sense, right? You need to know, let's say you're working, you need to know how much taxes you owe, right? Do I need to know how much taxes you owe? Is that my business?
no,
No. But the IRS needs to know, right? Your employer needs to know your paycheck. Same thing with me, right? I should have access to how much the university is paying me every month, the year. I need to know that. Do I have then the role to change my salary? I think I am way underpaid, 10 times more I think I deserve, right? 100 times. Do I have, in that case, I do not have access to change my salary at the university, and I shouldn't have, right? So it's those kinds of things of the need to know that we're dealing with. So at this point, we talked about the syllabus, how to sign up, and the easiest way, I think, to sign up is just go to Wiley Reading and Adaptive, click on one of the chapters, and then it will ask you to register. And you can even, if you want to, say you want a 14-day evaluation. You know the Zoom meetings, that's how you get in. Let me go to the Zoom meetings now, right? And if I go into Zoom meetings, everybody go into your Zoom meetings. Lily, let me stop sharing. Can you share your screen, Lily, for us?
Yes.
So you see how I'm doing this class? I want to make sure that everybody understands kind of the ins and outs of how you can find things, what you can do.
Oh, I have to open my settings to allow it. It says Zoom may not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is
Not-
quit.
Not record. I would just want you to share your screen. Greta,
Yeah.
can you share your screen?
Yeah. Let me see.
Because you have a different point of view, right, than I do.
I don't know if I've actually ever done this before. Okay.
Right. That's the beauty, isn't it? If you've done everything in the class, it would be a boring class. Oh, I know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now move it over so we can see it. We see just like part of it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then expand it so
Let me
we
see.
can see more of it.
Okay, here we go.
Everybody should see this, right? This is the list. What she's sharing with us, I think it's useful. What she's sharing is when you go to Zoom meetings, right? Upcoming meetings, you see today, right? And then you see then on Monday, which we really are not going to have class. We should really remove that. But do you have a role to remove that? No, right? That's up to me in this case. But then you can see on Wednesday, the 22nd. But look at cloud recordings. You see that up in the tab? Let's see what that is. Okay, you do not have any recordings yet. So when we're recording, then this is where your class recordings will be. Everybody clear with me? Sorry, your session has expired. Please refresh. Okay. But this is where your recordings will be. Okay, so you can stop sharing. So everybody will need to, basically we'll have assignment next week where you'll be going through, Greta, all of these, how to share, how to make somebody a co-host, how to spotlight certain people. So let's say we had 4 people presenting. What you can do in Zoom is spotlight those 4 people and they will just appear in the middle. So a number of different things. How do you help somebody report remote support? Somebody needs some help. You can get into their computer if they need the issue. So we're going to be going through that. So let me now share. Okay, so this was the Zoom. If you look at my cloud recordings, you see here that this was a cloud recording from January 13th. And it has 5 files, and then you can review the recording. And then some of them you can download, you can play, you can just get audio, you can get the chat file, and then you have recording analytics. So it gives me how many people viewed it, all that dashboard type of thing. Next, this is the key. Everybody listening here. So in this case, Will, what's due is the main thing on this website, on this Blackboard. If you want to know then, Finley, what is due, you always go to what's due. And in this case, I will post then not all your assignments, but the latest assignment. So you see here, assignment 1 is due before class on next Wednesday. And it says sign up for Wiley Plus, do the readings, do the adaptive assignments, do the quizzes, and miscellaneous. What I wanted you to do is go to the library site and subscribe to the New York Times and Wall Street Journal and read this article on how are companies using AI agents here to look at 5 early users of the bots. Perfect. So Wiley Reading and Adaptive. If I go to Wiley Reading and Adaptive, what I suggest, and I was suggesting it to others, if you're having problems with Wiley, sometimes the reason is use the Chrome browser. If you, sometimes with Safari or Firefox, it creates issues. So use the Chrome browser at that time. And then you'll look at chapter 1, and these are the chapters that you can read. And then chapter 1, adaptive assignment. For every chapter, at the very end is the adaptive assignment. The adaptive assignment is required. And in this case, that's required. And Nick Bennett, are you here? Nick,
Yeah, I'm here.
you need to have your camera on when you're in this class.
Um,
You have
it's
issues with that?
not, yeah, it's not working right now.
Okay, well then it's acceptable for today, but not after. So you have to
Okay,
figure
thank
out
you.
how to get that done. Or else if you don't want to show your face, this is not the class to be in. Okay, Nick? Okay, so information systems adaptive assignment. Were you here in the last class, Nick?
No, I just joined.
You just joined, okay? So basically then you have to reach out. Are you part of Blackboard? So you're gonna have to, are you paying attention here? You have
Yeah,
to
I'm
go
already
to
in
what's there.
YB.
Okay, so we have to have info systems administrative assignment. And let me just show you what I have. What's my role again, Grace? Am I the instructor or am I the participant, the student? Grace,
Are you talking to me?
yes, I'm talking to you.
Sorry, you're the instructor?
I'm the instructor, right? And you're the student. So notice, you remember I talked about, Grace, the need to know? I need to know how everyone's doing. You do not. So your system will look entirely different. This is called a dashboard. So I can see 22 students have registered to Wiley. Only 4 students have completed and 2 are in progress. So if that case is 26, 28, how many participants do I have today in my class? Those need to register and do it. I can see here their practice assignment. And then if I want to see how they have done, I can go to students. And I can see in this case, these students have at least entered. And Lily, in this case, you see that Lily hasn't started. Negev hasn't started here. Greta has completed the assignment. And Asa has completed the assignment. And Luana has completed the assignment. And Colin. So I already know that those 4 ain't gotten 100%. So one of the things is you may want to jot that down in contacting these students that are great. You see that, Greta? You may want to write this down or make a note of it, Greta, that we have of who completed this is yourself, Lahasa, Vanessa, and Luana, and Colin. For instance, now Olivia has started it. We say she's in progress. Okay. I get that. Why am I getting that? And then I have policies. The other part in the adaptive assignments, you have to do this, and you also have to do the quizzes. Under the quizzes, you have chapter 1. In these quizzes, you can begin, and you can see here, this test allows, instead of multiple attempts, you should pay attention. It allows you to take it twice. And you can continue. And then under PowerPoint, if I open up that folder, I opened up the folder and I see that in Introduction to Information Systems, I have the PowerPoint, and I also have, it was converted to PDF, that later on what we can do is take the PDF and put it into a program like Google, a software program like Google Notebook, and it will create for us a study guide and a podcast We can join the podcast. It's kind of interesting and neat. Okay, now going back to Wiley and Adaptive, we said we're going to go to chapter 1. And in chapter 1, we talk about computer information system. And you'll see at this point, it talks about organizations referring to the management information systems by several names: the MIS department, the information systems, IT department, information services. So my question to you, do we have an IT department here at the university? Luana, what do you think? We probably do, right? Do we
Yeah,
have?
I think
Okay.
we do. I'm pretty sure there's like a number you can call if you need help
Right,
too.
there's a number you can call. Do we know who's the head of it? Who knows who the CIO, the Chief Information Officer, is at the University of Miami? Anybody have a clue? The only reason I have a clue, Luana, is because I'm in this business, right? I teach it, I consult on it, I give advice to the university on what they should do on their information systems. I'm on their computer advisory committee. I work with Fortune 500 companies. I work with in consulting, I work with startups and advising them. Who's my marketing people? Who's okay? Greta, and who else? That she's the only one? Who else is a marketing major? That's it? And then Ellie. Okay. Ellie, you think they do a good job in marketing, their IT department? If no one in this class even knows who's the head of it? What do you think?
I'm not really sure who the head of it is, but
Right. So we don't even know. So they maybe need your advice in helping them with it. So your job now is to tell me who is in charge of IT department at the University of Miami. Who's our CIO? We know who our president is. We know who our dean is, right? Ellie, you know who the dean of the School of Business is, I imagine, right? So what do we do? So you see that, Caitlin? I want to find out who the CIO is.
I just looked it up
Good.
online.
That's
I don't
what
know if
we
it's
want to
right.
do, right? It's not cheating. I give you permission to do that, right? And once we do, and who'd you find?
I found someone named David, I think Race or Rice.
Okay. And then who else? Did you find somebody else?
That's all that came up when I looked
Okay.
at it.
Anybody find someone else? So Will, what did you find? Everybody, when I asked it, I'm not just asking Caitlin. Everybody, when I call on you, you should have already done it. So Ava, who's the CIO of the University of Miami? Ava Hunt. Ava Hunt is busy doing something else. Okay. That's good. Okay. So who is it? Tony, who is it? Anybody find him? Catherine, did you find
Is it
somebody?
Nick?
What?
Is it Nick Arison?
Oh, Nick Harrison, we got one. Who else do we got?
I found Arturo Duke K. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Right, okay. Anyone else? Get somebody other name.
Brad Rower.
We got Barbara. So you see, we couldn't even find in all this stuff, we can't even find who is the CIO of it. So let me share my screen. And let me I'll Google it too, right? What do I want? I want CIO, University of Miami. And what do I get? I get this guy called Brad Rower, right? Let me click on it. University of Miami. You see him? He's in a suit and tie. That means he may know something, huh, Soren? He may know something. And it says he is Vice President, IT Chief Information Officer. And then he has a biography and he says what he does, blah, blah, blah. And then related links. Everybody see that on the related links? So let me go to information technology. And it says unified login experience for apps and services. Welcome. Kane self-service portal, new to services and products. News, announcements, stay in the know by reviewing the latest. They hide all this. Phishing scams, basically to look out for. Phishing is a form of fraud with the goal of tricking you into sharing personal information. They're supposed to be in charge of online security, your email on 365. Now you have Google, they say latest, accounts, hardware, listing, all services and products. So let me go to services and products. Service and product. Look at these then. It's accounts, administration, customer service, email, hardware, hosting, network, software, training. So they take care of our email, they take care of our software.
Amici, mi fanno da signora signora amici.
Okay, so I don't know what's that going on. So in this case here, software, third-party applications. So if I go to software, you can see here software for the U of what students get, what the university gets, and new projects. And if I look at projects, Gmail for students, Zoom cloud recordings, Cane Link, Skype, right? So I have faculty profiles, leadership, meet the CIO, IT resources. And look at this. This is almost like our book. This is like our course. Artificial intelligent tools at the U, wireless and wired networks, collaboration in the cloud, right? And then if I look at artificial intelligence, click here, wired networks for click here to learn more. And then they're giving me Copilot. Anybody, Soren, have you ever heard of Copilot?
No.
Okay. Have you, Marie, have you ever heard of Copilot?
I have not heard of it before.
Wow, it's interesting. Ryan, have you heard of it?
No, I've never heard of it before.
Okay, so folks, Copilot, everybody's heard of ChatGPT, right? Soren, you've heard of ChatGPT?
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, Copilot is owned by Microsoft, and they're using ChatGPT's open AI model for themselves. So basically, it's like ChatGPT, but Microsoft owns it. And for instance, have you ever used Excel and Word, Soren?
Yes.
Yes. So basically, they attach Copilot to those products, and then you can get questions based on Excel, help me with some formulas, in Word, help me design. So this is Copilot. So you can see here, it's Microsoft's AI-powered chat with data protection. And what does that mean, data protection, Greta? You have a clue?
I would just say that like they agreed to not release your data to any other sources.
Well, yes. Basically, when you use ChatGPT or you use Copilot, Greta, OpenAI, which is the owner of ChatGPT, and Microsoft, the regular Copilot, or even Gemini from Google, they grab your data and they can use it for training purposes. They see your data. So many companies say, I don't want them to see my data. I'll buy Copilot or I'll buy ChatGPT, but I want the data to be protected. And notice this, will not leak outside the organization. So Microsoft, University of Miami is paying extra to get Copilot with the data protection. If you don't care that they're using your data, you don't have anything confidential, you're not putting your tax information there, you're not putting your health records there, it may not be a problem. But this is what, and Gemini, notice here that they say you have to be over 18 to use it. And then the university also gives you Adobe Firefly that creates images for you. And then they have a couple of others. In my opinion, it's rather weak on what they're giving us. We're going to do more than that. But but the university is a bit timid and afraid to give artificial intelligence tools out, afraid of what can happen. So that is that case. So if I go back and share, what I can do is go back to our Blackboard and, for instance, look at a chapter from our readings. I'm doing 1.2. And it says overview of computer information systems. Wow, somebody's bombing us, huh? So next time maybe we'll put some passwords on that. So as previously stated in information systems, can you check, Greta, maybe if there's somebody there, we can block them, your co-host.
Yeah, let me see if I can do that.
Yeah. As previously stated then, I've never had that done. I think in COVID, the first week of COVID, I got that, but I never had that done. You can see here the difference between data and information. But in this case, you can see here computer-based information systems here. This is the key for chapter 1. We have hardware, software, databases, and networks. So hardware, we know anything that we can see, right? Whether it's our disks, our phones, our laptops. Software, then what are examples of software? Quinn, what are examples of software that we've already looked at in this class?
Maybe just like a laptop or like
software.
Like Zoom or YouTube.
Exactly. Zoom, YouTube, and what else? Blackboard. They're all software. Yeah. And there are a lot of times we call it software as a service, meaning that it's cloud-based. Those reside in the company's computers, and we gain access via what? Quinn, via a browser. So we get access via a browser, and then in the database, and then here is network. Where do we see then Ellie and network? Are you exposed at the university to networks? The university's network?
Would that also be like CaneLink or Blackboard?
Basically, they're using it, right? So if you want to communicate, as soon as you basically, when you go into looking at Blackboard, what do they ask you for? First time you go into the Wi-Fi of the universities?
Like your email and password?
Right, email and password, and what else? And they ask you for Duo, right? The authentication to make sure that make it harder for you. All of that, you're using the university's network. All that Wi-Fi is the university's network. The university has networks on what? The Coral Gables campus. It has networks on the Erasmus campus, the Marine Science, and it also has networks on what they call UHealth, their health system. So they have all of these, and then they have databases, and databases are places which has information that is shared. So what database do you have? You have the School of Business database. You have, what's your major again? What's your major?
Marketing.
Marketing. So the marketing department has a database on you, right? The registrar has a database on you, right? Do you live on campus, Ellie?
Yes.
Living on campus has then the housing has a database on you, the meal plan. So all of this are in databases. And what they have in computer-based information systems, or that information technology of an organization or of an enterprise, is they have procedures. When the university is hacked, somebody takes over and tries to be a bad actor, there's procedures on how to report it. If they lose some data, there's procedures on how they can back up. So all of these are done with procedures in computer-based information systems. And this is the last figure I want to show you. Is this figure is called information technology inside of your organization. Our organization, another term, Ellie, for organization is called the enterprise. So another term for organization is enterprise. So enterprise, look at this, Ellie. It looks like basically everybody's majors, right? There's accounting, there's finance, there's production operations management, there's marketing, and the human resources. These are just examples, Ellie, of these going. And then they have underneath IT components, the IT platform, IT personnel. What is that? People working for IT services. They told us what their services are. Like email they give us, they're giving us software. For myself, they give me hardware because I work for them. And this is called the infrastructure. So basically here, they talk about information systems, and what's basically driving this is the advent of AI. Anybody hear of in this case, let me just stop sharing. In this case, anybody hear of the company NVIDIA? Raise your hand. Okay, Soren, what do you know about them?
It is kind of, well, I know invested in it, but
Right,
it is
right.
also,
They're going through the roof. So what I want
Oh, yeah.
everybody to do, and you do it too, rather than talking about, you know that the market is going crazy, right? In the past year, it's gone over 150%. What stock has done that? Nobody, right? So the question is, what do they do? What is exciting the market so much, Caitlin, to do it? So what I want you to do is everybody look up NVIDIA and figure out, what does it do? We know what you can even figure out sort of what the stock price is. Now we got to figure out what's all the commotion, what's all the excitement. So Will, I want you to do that, is look up NVIDIA and figure out, everybody figure out, what does it do? What is the excitement here that Juan, can you imagine? NVIDIA has gone up in the past 5 years. We'll see what it does. We'll basically be able to see in the past year, it's gone up 150%. I don't even know what's done year to date. I bet you it's huge. What is all the excitement? Tony, are you looking at that? What's the excitement? You
Yeah.
see that, Max? What's that all the excitement in NVIDIA? It has something to do with AI. That's why we're going to spend a lot of time, right? This course intentionally was not looking at artificial intelligence. And I'm saying, wow, we got to look at it because it's going to be it's here, and people are anticipating it's huge. So who found something?
It's the world leader in like AI computing.
What does that mean? AI, world leader in AI computing. What does that mean? Anybody got more specific? Colin, did you find something? Quinn, did you find something? On the video. Levi, did you find something?
Yeah, like they produce like the microchips for AI.
Microchip for AI. And what does that mean? A lot of people produced, AMD produced, Intel produced chips, right? So what Samsung produces chips. So what's unique about them? Is the amount, do you think when they're doing this AI that that the performance needs to be really taking trillions of data points and processing them? So what they've done is they've created chips to do that, and even have created now hardware, putting together that you can get in a box like this, what they call PC computer, AI computer. So if I look and I share, it's amazing, huh? Today it went up 3%, right? In 5 days, it went down, but look at it, 1 month. 4. Let's go to year to date. A little bit. 1 year, it's gone what? A year, it's gone up 141%. 5 years, it's gone up. Look at that. You think that's a good trend line, Soren? Is that going up the trend or going down or staying the same?
It's gone up a great deal.
Did you see that? Had 5 years ago, right? 2,086%. Unreal. And why? Is a corporation headquartered in Delaware. It's going to be in quantum computing. Quantum computing stocks rally up NVIDIA and Quantum Day. Meet the little known companies better, right? NVIDIA stock gain. And then it ramps up focus, right, for robotics, right? It's unbelievable. And people are wondering, it's gone up 2,000%. Am I going to lose it? Is it past the peak? And it doesn't seem to be, it doesn't even seem to be, what it's doing besides, you know what I mean? And is that they're basically, excuse me, they're basically in this case looking at hardware. Excuse me. So it's the world leader.
Bless you.
So it's the world leader. Okay. So let's take any questions. So we know what to do for next Wednesday. And we will meet. I'm going to end class now. I'll do attendance. And stay with me. Do you have any additional questions? Let me just do check-in. $58.98. Once you finish checking in, you're welcome to leave. If you have additional questions, stay with me and I'll be happy to answer it. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
And
you.
Greta, if you want to stay with me.
Okay.
What's the code?
What was the code?
I don't see it anymore.
The code was 5989.
$58.98.
Oh yeah, sorry.
$58.98 is the code. Did you get it?
Thank you.
Right.
I had a question.
Yes. Let me just
So-
stop. Is it about the class? What's your question?
So basically I saw a syllabus and I know that I needed to purchase to buy like the